What is a 5-1 rotation? As the name suggests, a 5-1 rotation consists of 5 hitters and 1 setter. To understand rotation better, let's first look at each position on the court. There are 2 rows in the court, the front row and the back row, and there are 6 players in these 2 rows. The positions are of these players arranged as right back. This is where the setter starts, and it is also known as Zone 1. Right front, the outside hitter plays in this position, and it is called Zone 2. Middle front, this is where the middle blocker 2 plays. It's also called Zone 3. Left front, the opposite hitter plays in this position, and it is known as Zone 4. Left back, the outside hitter 2 takes this position. It is called Zone 5. Middle back, this is where the middle blocker 1 starts, but we'll let libero play instead of middle blocker 1. It is called Zone 6. Now, before moving to 5-1 rotation, let's understand the 2 important concepts of rotation. First, players' positions on the court are determined by the players adjacent to them. You can't pass or cross over the players adjacent to you. For example, the setter needs to be in between outside hitter 1 and libero. Outside hitter 1 needs to be in between middle blocker 2 and setter. Middle blocker 2 needs to be in between opposite hitter and outside hitter 1 and also in front of libero. Similarly, opposite hitter needs to be in between middle blocker 2 and outside hitter 2. Outside hitter 2 needs to be in between opposite hitter and libero. Lastly, libero needs to be in between outside hitter 2 and setter, and also in the backside of middle blocker 2. If any of them try to pass, it'll be considered as out of the rotation. Second, you also need to know the concept of base or defensive position. This means when the ball crosses the opposing side, players switch to their base position. Here, the outside hitter 1 moves from right front to left front, while the opposite hitter moves from left front to right front. However, all the other players maintain their existing positions. Now, let's see how the rotation works. Serve 1. As the setter goes back to serve the ball, the players come close to each other. This will make it easier for outside hitter 1 and opposite hitter to switch their positions. When the setter hits the ball, the rules of rotation no longer apply. All the players will move to base position. Rotation receive. For serve receive, we'll step up a 3-person receiving system, where outside hitters 1 and 2, along with the libero, will be responsible for the serve receive. The outside hitter 1 goes back to hide the setter, U, so he can quickly transition to his setting role once the serve is received. Here, if you take a look, all the players are still in rotation and not overlapping each other. As the opponent's serve contacts, the setter quickly moves towards its setting position. After the team successfully returns the ball, everyone shifts back into base positions. Service 2. After we win the point, and it is our turn to serve, we will rotate positions. This will start rotation 2. Now, the outside hitter 1 will go back to serve. Setter will move to right back, as outside hitter is out of the court and libero gets to middle back. In the front row, the middle blocker 2 will move towards the middle. As the ball is connected by the server, the opposite hitter moves to its base position at right front and outside hitter goes to left back. Rotation 2 serve receive. As the opponent wins a point and it is their turn to serve, we will go to regular and then set up for serve receive. But the problem is, the setter is in the center of the court and we've to hide him from passing the ball. Keeping in mind the overlap rule, we'll move the setter to top and rotate all the 3 players to the right side. The libero will move to middle back and outside hitter will rotate to the back row for serve receive. So if we apply the overlap rule, all the players are still in rotation. After the opponent contacts the ball, both front row and back row will change their positions. As the ball passes to the opponent's side, all the players will switch to base positions. Service 3. After we've won the point and it is our turn to serve, we will rotate positions. This will put us into rotation 3. Now, the libero is in the front row, but he can't play in the front row, so we'll replace the libero with middle blocker 1, and we'll let the libero serve instead of middle blocker 2, as the libero can serve at any player. The libero goes back to serve. All the players come close to each, so they can easily switch to their base positions. As the server contacts the ball, all the players will get to their base positions. Rotation 3 serve receive. After the opponent sides out and it is their turn to serve, we will go to regular rotation and then set up for serve receive. Here the setter is at the left back, so we'll move the setter to the middle front and the outside hitter will rotate towards the left back. Again, we've to keep in mind your overlaps, so you are in the proper rotations. After the opponent serves the players, both front row and back row will need to make the switches to their correct positions for hitting the ball. As the ball goes over the net, all the players will switch back to their base positions. Service 4. After we win the point and it is our turn to serve, we will rotate positions. This will put us into rotation 4. When the opposite hitter goes back to serve, all the players will come close to each other, so they can quickly switch to their base positions. As the ball is contacted by the server, the players move to their base positions, the setter will move to right, and outside hitter 2 will go to the left. Rotation 4 serve-receive. When the opponent wins the point and it is their turn to serve, we will go to regular rotation and then set up for serve-receive. Here, the setter will go to top left and middle blocker 1, and outside hitter 2 will go back to the setter, whereas outside hitter 1, libero and opposite hitter will stay in the back row. Again, you have to keep in mind your overlaps, so all the players are in the rotation. After the opponent serves the ball, players will get to their hitting positions. As the ball goes back to the opponent's side, all the players will switch to their base positions. Service 5. When we've won the point and it is our turn to serve, we will rotate positions. This will put us into rotation 5. The outside hitter 2 will go back to serve. Again, all players come close to each other. Now, the middle blocker 1 will come close to the setter, and opposite hitter and libero will move towards right. As the server contacts the ball, all players will rotate back to their base position. Rotation 5 serve-receive. After the opponent sides out and it is their turn to serve, we will go back to regular rotation and then set up for serve-receive. Here, the setter will move towards right, opposite hitter will drop back a bit, libero will rotate towards middle, and outside hitter 1 will move to left back. You have to keep in mind the overlap rule, so you are in proper rotations. As the opponent contact the ball, players will get to their hitting positions. When the ball goes back to the opponent's side, all the players will switch to their base positions. Service 6. As we won a point and it is our turn to serve, we will rotate positions. This will put us into rotation 6. Libero is again in the front row, so we'll replace the libero with middle blocker 2. And middle blocker 1 will go back to serve. All players will come close to each other. Middle blocker 2 will move towards the middle. Opposite hitter will also move to middle back. When the ball is contacted by the server, all the players will move back to their base positions. Rotation 6. Serve-receive. When the opponent wins a point and it is their turn to serve, we will go to regular rotation and then set up for the serve-receive. Libero will come back and replace the middle blocker 1. Now, the opposite hitter will hide back and the outside hitter 1 will move towards left back. Again, you have to keep in mind your overlaps, so you are in proper rotations. After the opponent serves the ball, players will get to their hitting positions. As the ball goes back to the opponent's side, all the players will switch to their base positions. That's it. I know the concept is difficult to digest, but if you watch the video again, you'll get more clear. If this video is helpful, make sure to subscribe and like this video.